Hey, guys. Welcome back to the More Than Conversation podcast where we do life together
and talk about it.
I am your host, Eb, back at it again, and I am here with some of the most amazing people I know that are my co-hosts. Please introduce yourselves.
Well, it's your boy Trey, and if we did it my way, we do this every day.
Well, y'all know my name if y'all saying it properly. Yeah, again.
His name is Lexton.
Yo.
Because I don't know what you think this is.
A podcast?
There may be people that are watching or listening for the first time and don't know who you are.
We're building. I'm building a relationship. Okay. With our
Anyway.
listeners.
But it's your boy Ash. Yeah, you see. Take it easy.
All right, guys. And before we kick anything off, how are you? How your day was? Your week was? You know, what's up?
I'm good. Grateful. Talk to my peoples and catching up with some friends. So it's been good.
That's cool. What about you?
Busy. Real busy.
Busy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 kids at home. Busy.
Oh,
That kind of busy.
that's
Oh,
rough.
you a single parent now?
Not a single parent.
No children out of wedlock, my G.
Amen. Beautiful. Loved it. High five me for that. That's a great goal to have. Love that for you.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
You know what it is. Back on the grind. Back to, making them funds.
That makes sense. You know, money makes the world go round. Is that
Does
a
it?
saying? I don't even know.
I don't agree with that.
People make
I thought it was love.
I thought
I thought it was love.
I think it's
What
both.
was it?
I think it's both, honestly.
Yeah.
And even though y'all ain't asked, I can tell y'all anyway. I'm
Oh,
good.
sorry. How was your day?
What's getting there?
My day was good.
This karaoke.
See the karaoke you wanted?
My day. Babe, can I talk about my day or my week?
Go ahead.
My day / week has been pretty good. Thankful for you guys. Thankful for my amazing husband who we have here. Just love him so much. God sent him. What?
That was from God.
Oh, okay.
That was from God.
So yeah, y'all already know it's a new month. So we are on to new things. And this month we are talking on something that we're all passionate about, that we all have great, amazing views and insight on. And this month's, series or theme is Hi, I'm Normal. Shout out to SpongeBob.
You remember that episode when he didn't have no edges?
Smooth.
He was just round.
And
Smooth Bob.
Would you like to tell our audience what's the all black theme?
I don't know. I think we just decided to wear black just because. I don't know.
Because
black looks good.
Yeah, the wardrobe don't really have that much
Black
diversity.
History Month is February.
Okay,
Oh.
my bad. I'm not black enough.
Wow. Anyway, so the reason why we say hi, I'm normal is because we want to expand on how we just see that a normal life is like frowned upon. And when we say normal, we don't mean like bleh, boring, not worth it normal. We mean like comfortable with where you are, not having this big flashy life that everybody going after. You don't got a Tesla and a Maserati and a big mansion with 10 rooms that you don't need, and you don't wear designer everything. Like, you enjoy thrifting and you're comfortable with a life that's not celebrity status, Forbes lists type
GQ
deal.
magazine.
Yeah, you ain't like Jeffrey and Bill and they just over the top rich.
Who's
But
Jeffrey?
Yeah. Also,
Rich people.
Oh, okay.
not just not living that lifestyle. Stop putting the pressure on yourself to
live that.
Live that
and
lifestyle.
just get that out of your head.
right. So I think I would like Trey to kick us off. How do you view this?
Being normal? Well, I would say the run-of-the-mill, house or apartment. If you like to switch it up every couple years. Family, maybe like 2 kids, a regular car, Toyota, Nissan. Like you said, nothing crazy, just normal.
Just like, I wouldn't even say no, like simplicity being bliss, basically. Like,
yeah.
you just ain't like doing the absolute most.
I'm saying, like, if you like to go out, you don't got to cop bottles.
spending $500 on bottles.
You don't gotta have gold on your steak.
So you coming home from work, you know, sit on the couch, getting your dinner, watch something,
Yeah.
sleep. Next day, boom, weekend come, take the kids to the park, stuff like that.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not take the kids to like Berlin or something. Or like like
going jet skiing in the Bahamas.
And a
no,
Bora-
actually
Bora
that's
Bora.
pretty like chill.
Oh,
that's
that's
a chill
my
thing.
bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everybody can't just go to the Bahamas.
That's I mean, you know what? You're right. But like not like going out every weekend, fine dining every single like day of the week. Like, I mean, you know, if you want fine dine every week and that's your normal, then that's fine. But the main issue is everybody thinks that that's the life that you should want, and if you don't want that life, what's wrong with you? How are you so comfortable in your 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment? Why don't you want a 5-bedroom house with a pool and a jacuzzi and an inside gym and a
Don't let them make you think you're selling yourself short just because you're comfortable with what you got.
Right. That's so true.
What I think it is because like society and the world, we've gotten to a point where we only monetize the best and the highest of the highest, but the average, which is the majority of the people who are alive, isn't monetized. So all you see is shiny cars, fancy cars, shiny jewelry, big giant houses, like
True.
3-story mansions and stuff like that, like private jets, and you know,
This fairy tale.
yeah, like that's all you see. People taking their videos out of like a 30-story hotel or something
saying.
like that. Yeah,
Half of those made up.
or Dubai or whatever. But I mean, like, it's because of what society and social media and whoever else, like any other platforms, is what they show, is what they monetize. Like they say, oh, you need to get to this point. Oh, are you stuck at a 9 to 5? Are you at a dead end job? Like, are you still driving that old jalopy or whatever?
Why the 9 to 5 gotta be a dead end?
That's what the commercials say.
Some
like,
people
oh,
like
are you
their
still
9 to 5.
are you
bro.
still there where you were last year?
Like,
Like,
let a young man
everybody
live.
does not want to trade forex, dog. Like,
But that was rampant a little while ago.
it still is. But the thing about it is, it's just like everybody does not want to run their own business. Some people enjoy helping others. Imagine what life would be like if nobody wanted to do the jobs that were deemed just below us and like below the, I wouldn't say below the belt, but you know, the jobs that nobody wants to do. Then how are you going to get your 4 for 4 from Wendy's
I mean,
if nobody wants to go into work and flip those burgers?
I don't think anything is below anybody because people serve at different stations,
Yeah.
at different sections.
And you need somebody
yeah,
Thing
like,
is,
at
without-
every spot.
like in the army, like there are different members, there are different sections.
Yeah,
and
everybody
yeah,
just don't
like,
go shooting up the place. Like, no offense, not saying. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Not saying that that's what.
Okay, I was talking about the biblical army, not the not the
Not the
AK-47
army.
army like we got today. Yeah,
I
like,
may or may not cut that out, but if I don't, yeah, that's not what I meant. I mean, everyone doesn't have to carry a gun
Yeah,
and
but
go
like,
out on the battlefield,
everybody
okay?
in the army isn't on top of a horse, so everybody doesn't have like a giant shield.
top of a horse?
Yeah, because
Have a giant. What?
It's giving Chronicles of Narnia.
Yo, side note, but way back in the day, bro, when they had musicians, bro.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like
battlefield.
in biblical times, and in biblical times, their armies, like
Oh, they
the
did
generals,
do that.
the generals and the leaders were on top of horses. They never walked.
On chariots.
My
and-
dog
Yeah.
just did to play the flute, bro. That's it.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
and he gonna die
All-
first.
Every soldier can't be like, oh, I don't want to walk. I want to be on top of a horse. Like things like
I
that.
feel
Like,
you.
you know, like what if the angels were saying like, oh, I don't want to go to this person. I want to go to those people over there. Like everybody can't be doing the same thing.
Everybody
Like,
can't be
The
Yeah.
boss.
the boss.
Yeah.
Everybody can't, like, and they like to make you feel bad. Like, can we please stop shaming our 9 to 5 workers that work 40 hours a week and enjoy their job. Some people just like having that security. They like that insurance. They like consistent money coming out so they can have something to file on their taxes. People are comfortable with that. People like staying with the same company for years. Some people like their position so much that they don't care to grow. If it's financing their life in a way that keeps them fed, keeps them housed, and keeps them clothed, then I don't think that they should be bombarded into being their own boss and starting their own business and doing this and doing that. Like, no, everybody ain't built for that. Imagine if Jesus didn't understand his position. When God gave him his assignment,
Instead of being a carpenter, he'd be like, okay, I'm the king now.
Or instead of him down, he would have been like, oh, Peter, you're my favorite, so do this for me.
like, and not even, he would have never came down on earth in the first place. Because when God gave him his assignment, he'd have been like, you want me to get off my throne to go do what? For who? You sure? I ain't gonna lie, buddy. I think you think you above me. I think we can both be God. And Father, Son, and Holy Spirit are all the Trinity. But they have different roles. One was not sent here to do what the other one does. If that was the case, then the Holy Spirit wouldn't be necessary. He wouldn't be on our run, period. But people don't understand. We need people that are willing to do everything. If you want to be your own boss and everybody else go be their own boss, how your grass can go get cut if ain't nobody want to cut it?
I could tell you for a fact, most of the people talking about, I can start my own business and do all this and all that, they don't have a clue what it takes to start a business from the ground and keep it all the way
afloat.
10 years, 15 years. They don't understand how hard that is. You are the person to call 24/7. You don't know what it is when you see 5 months go by, 6 months go by, you working 12, 13, 14, 15-hour days, and you will make $1.
Exactly.
You breaking even. And that ain't even the talk when slow season come around.
And you need employees. What you can do if everybody is the boss and nobody want to come work for you.
Listen, you talk people just be dissing 9-to-5 workers and whatever, but when you start a business, you can need 9-to-5 workers to help you be successful.
Right.
So I think what has happened too, we need 9-to-5 workers, right? But just because you're the boss, don't forget that used to be you. So
True.
You need people to help you make all this money so you don't have to clock in every day. But the reward that they giving you is more than the money coming into your business. They helping you fund your lifestyle. They helping give you financial freedom. So it's more than just pushing your products or doing a service for you. They helping you build your life. And the wages don't reflect all of the other things they do besides bringing money to the company.
Right.
So people who talking about opening a business, they don't know how hard you have to work. They don't know. And they won't figure it out until they get there. That's why you see people take $20,000. They get a loan from the bank, $20,000. And first month's rent is like $8,000 in commercial buildings, $8,000, $10,000. They have $10,000 to get product or whatever, get some merchandise. They get a friend to help them set up the inside. And then in 2 years, the business go on. You start with $20,000? That don't even keep you afloat?
Expenses coming out of your capital.
Right.
Exactly.
And I call me crazy, but I think the employees are just as important as the employer because
definitely because without them,
if I don't go to work and do my job, customers ain't getting what they need.
Nope.
Now, of course, they can fill that position quickly because there's always somebody else that's willing to do what you're not.
I mean,
but if I don't do what I'm supposed to do the right way, then it affects a lot of other people. And I work for a really big company.
But the thing is,
so
everybody is replaceable in a sense.
Facts.
Everyone is.
It may not be to the T. It may not be exact.
No, I can't say that.
Yeah.
I can't say everybody replaceable.
I mean, in a sense,
but not really.
Because you can.
I'm not trying to say it's gonna be exact copy.
Yeah, like people might
It's
not be
it's
as
not gonna be
great
exact
as you
or to
are
the
or
T.
give the same
But
attitude.
everybody can be replaced.
Yeah.
A mother can be replaced with a stepmother. A father can be replaced with a stepfather.
And it'll be similar, but it won't be
a
the exact
CEO
same.
can be replaced with someone else in charge. If a CEO dies or steps down from a company, I bet you there's gonna be someone else that's gonna replace him in the next maybe couple of days or in a week or so.
But
I
the
don't
thing
know why
about
that
that
made me think
is,
about
like, I
Walt
get what you're
Disney.
saying. Not everybody's replaceable because, well, in the sense of with the way and the structure how a company is working, as soon as you could change somebody who's pivotal in any part of it, like the whole system could just change completely, and that
Yeah.
company could fail from right there.
That's true
yeah,
too.
that is true. But what I'm trying to say is basically there's a level field of I'm not pro employee or pro employer, or I'm not pro 9 to 5 or pro entrepreneurship, because it's a level playing field. Nobody's more important than the other person.
Agreed.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Because the
basically.
boss needs the employees.
Like
Without the employees,
yes,
the business won't
maybe
be
something
run.
maybe something isn't gonna go exactly how it's supposed to, but they can replace that person.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Maybe if, let's say, the operations manager or the CEO or the CEO or the CFO, whoever, maybe they step down like abruptly, or they were embezzling money and they just take off to like the Cayman Islands, supposedly where everybody goes. But something's gonna happen. Something's gonna shake. They're gonna be replaced over time. There's work that needs to be done that's missing.
Mm-hmm.
The company might take a hit, but they're gonna be replaced over time.
That's true.
Okay. Well, okay, I think we're getting a little bit off track, so we bring it back to
Yeah.
being normal.
Yeah, and
So-
and it being undervalued.
Yes. So being normal for me, like once you could take care of your basic stuff, right? Like you have a roof over your head, you have food to eat, you have hobbies, stuff to do to keep your mind, like doing whatever you think is useful for you to do for yourself or for the community. And, you know, like relationships, right? Like friends, family, stuff like that. I feel like that's the basic stuff. Outside of that, like everything else is extra effort.
That's true.
You should do enough to maintain yourself living wise. But once you reach to that point where you feel like, okay, this is a comfortable life for you, like barring the outside noise, I mean, I think it's okay for you to decide for yourself where you want to stop. Like you get to make that decision, because even if you don't have $1 million or you don't own a business or you're not making like $500,000 or whatever, your life is still meaningful. Like
Amen.
the things that make life meaningful as far as human beings go, because that's what we all are, they are generally the same kinds of things. And even though they might look a little bit different for each person, or like what I find to be fulfilling in this capacity, it's still, we all could still have a meaningful life. And your meaningful life can be found having normal things, because the normalcy is just in the things. You could have normal things and still have an exceptionally, you know,
Amazing life.
in other areas.
Mm-hmm.
You can still do that. Your life could still be just as meaningful as anybody else on. It's just where you stop in as far as material gains go. It's
Right.
just normal. Like you're not hungry. You have a roof over your head. Everything else, the world is yours.
That's true.
What I take from a normal life, or what I value as a normal life, would be self-love, self-care, taking time for yourself, and just, I would say, not like you wouldn't have to go above and beyond for every single thing.
Right.
Like you can try your best, but you don't have to break your back or spend your last for that life to have meaning for you, in a sense. Like, okay, you would like to go out, or you would like to spend some time with some family or friends, but you know you have something that you have to take care of, and you only have, let's say, about $50 to $100 to your name. Do not waste that entire amount of money just for a good time for a couple hours when you have to worry about the next 2 to 3 days of what you're gonna do now.
Right.
And I'm not saying like, oh, God wouldn't provide if that's something he told you to do. But if that's something that God didn't tell you to do, then that's you just jumping off a ledge and be like, okay,
yes,
now
that's
God
not-
save me.
Yeah,
Help me to fly.
but yet we called to be good stewards.
Yeah,
So
like
yeah, that's true.
The book of Proverbs tells you, like, it teaches you about being a good steward with what you have, with your money, your time, your resources, all of that. But you cannot be, I would say, careless about the things you have for your normal life.
Yeah, I trust God to save me so I can just blow all my money and waste all my time on pointless things. And like when it's all said and done at the end of the day, I'm going to just get on my knees and pray that God save me from this eviction notice, because I know I had to pay rent, but I decided that I wanted to go travel instead. Like it's stuff like that.
I wonder how much people do that. They come home on eviction notice on the door. Like, God save me from this eviction notice.
You would be surprised at how many of
Safe
us.
space, people.
You would be surprised at how many
not
of us
safe.
in this generation do so many things, not because we want to, but because we want to show people that we can. I have dealt with that a lot, and I still struggle with it.
I'm sure at some point in time we all have. Maybe
It's just
we've
like,
done something where we wanted someone to see.
like I question now anything that I say I want. I question why I want it.
That's a
Do you want
great
it?
question.
Do you want it because that's something that you want? Like, for instance, sneakers. I love tennis. I love Jordan 1s. Not because other people wear them, but because Ashton shoes, you know what? But because Ashton has seen me like look up these shoes myself, not even just because I've seen them on other people's feet. I love how they look. So I don't question when I want that. But when it comes to going certain places and doing certain things and having the newest iPhone and stuff like that and dress in a certain way, I have to ask myself, do you want to dress like this or look like this or have this because this is what you want? Or you want to do that because this is what everybody's doing now and you want to show that you could do it too. Like a lot of the stuff people are doing, I don't think it's cute. I feel like because it costs a certain amount of money, everybody just wants that specific thing, and that's the way it happens. But you have to be honest with yourself and know, like, are you doing things to please other people, or is your life your own, and are you content and happy with what you have? And I don't get to that place until I go on social media watching what everybody else doing, and I'm like, wait, I'm not doing this. Hold on, why
now you
I
feel
ain't?
inadequate.
So now you feel like you ain't have enough or you ain't doing enough. But when you take the time to disconnect from the world and reconnect with yourself, you get a better understanding of who you truly are, what you truly like. And then you can take the time and take your resources and pour them into those things.
Boy, you are touching on a great point. You have to know your own desires.
Yeah.
You have to search your desires thoroughly and like think through them, test them, prove them, whatever you have to do.
And make sure they line
do.
up with God's word and his will as well. Don't just be out here all willy-nilly, because at the end of the day, we serve a very mighty and strong, powerful God. So we can desire things, and God knows the desires of our hearts, but he also says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. We're not saying that you can't have a good life and a big life and a flashy life. That's not what we're saying at all. So let's just get that out in the open. If that's what your normal looks like, that's fine. God wants us to have beautiful, prosperous lives. That's what he wants for his children. That's what he promised to us. He said he can do more than we can ask, think, or imagine, because he's just that powerful. However, godliness with contentment is great gain. So you can't be out here sounding like a siren, and you never, like, you want $100,000. You have $100. What are you doing with the $100? If you're gonna blow the 100, not thinking about it, how can you expect God to just say, here, Here's a milli.
Yeah.
Here's 100,000.
Yes.
Just
people.
go all willy-nilly
More-
with it.
More
Listen.
material things and more money does not come with financial literacy
Oh God, it
or
don't.
discipline. It
Listen.
doesn't transition into okay, I know now what to do because I will have this. It doesn't
It
come
don't
with
come
that.
with that.
Listen,
doesn't.
some people dead because they had the money to do certain things, you know.
Bro, people who win the lotto and lost it all?
How? No, and then again, there's no judgment because we don't know how to handle a lot of these situations until we like back to something you were saying where you were talking about people don't know how much work it takes to start their own business and stuff
keep
like
it
that.
going.
I didn't know how much it took to start this podcast. It was one random day and I told Lex, I want to start a podcast right out of a fast. I was like, hey, we should do a podcast.
It's not a cake.
If y'all know the amount of work it took from last year, when was that? October? I think it was October.
Yeah, just about.
We didn't start until January? And
Yeah.
it took late nights, long conversations, buying equipment, Googling equipment. I never worked so hard for something in my life. I thought it would have been a cakewalk. And God hit me with the reality. No, you got to work. Anything you actually want in this life, you have to be willing to work for. So if you don't want a normal, simplistic, or simple life, that is fine.
Hold on.
Are you willing to work for more?
Hold on. A normal life is still work.
Yeah.
But
True.
but when you want to get like way up there, that's extraordinary effort. That's extra work. That's more work. Understand that. You can't want to reach way up there without putting in
The
the
work.
hours. You have to sacrifice something. So the sacrifice, you can't have it all. You're not gonna have great, fantastic, wonderful relationships working 16 hours a day. That's not it's not gonna happen because you don't have the time. You don't have the energy. You can't focus 16 hours there and then like maybe you eke out an hour to somebody. It's not gonna work. So if you want extraordinary outcomes, you have to do more extraordinary stuff.
Yeah.
But
Extraordinary
not to say that a normal life isn't work, but you've done enough work to sustain yourself
Yeah, get your
and
basic
sustain the lifestyle
necessities
that you want.
Right.
Which again, you have to search your own desires.
and figure out what that is.
You gotta do that. It gotta be based on you. Your normal life gotta be based on you. If you don't want to work 60-hour weeks, 80-hour weeks, it's okay. Get a different job and just maintain the life that you want.
Yeah.
Right.
And focus on the things that are important to you. Because
Wait, say that again. Focus on I need you to run that. What they got to focus on?
focus on the things that are important
To who?
to you.
Boom. That's it. I just needed to hear that again. You can continue, but I think people skip over that. Not the things that are important to society and everybody else in the world, and what your mommy wants you to do, and what your daddy wants you to do, and the type of life your parents and your family think you should have. What do you want? And ahead of that is, what does God want for you? And you ain't gonna never know the answer to none of them things until you do some self-reflection.
You have to search for that.
Soul
You have
searching,
to
buddy.
search yourself for your own desires. And after that, like Ebony say, then now you gotta, okay, God, what do you want? What do you want, God? And then you go and you're like, okay, well, this is what I want, but this is what God want. So I might need to put what I want to the side
Yep.
so God could get what he needed, and then he still might give me what I want anyway.
Oh,
If
yeah.
it's good for
He
you,
knows the
he'll give it
desires
to you.
of our
If it's
heart.
not,
Yep. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and everything in God's time. God don't, anything before his time is never a good thing. Like, cars are great. We love cars to get us to and from. Imagine getting a car when you couldn't drive. It's the same thing. Imagine
Just sitting
God.
there.
Imagine God giving you more, and you can't even handle what he's giving you already. You have to take the time to appreciate life for where it's at. So let me ask y'all, even though I know y'all personally already, all of you, if God did not give you one more thing, would just him and where you are right now be enough for you? Why or why not?
Okay, so this is kind of difficult for me to answer because in the back of my mind, I feel like I know for sure he has more for me.
Right.
So for me to just start thinking he gonna say, all right, cut right there.
I don't
This
think
is-
he'll
this
ever
is
do
all
that.
you.
But I mean,
He
it's-
won't. But if I was to be in that headspace, well, I just have to take it as it come.
take it a day at a time.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not gonna. I will admit, I don't think I'm gonna like it. But if I can see that that's the vision for my life, I think I'll just deal with
From you have God, you have everything.
it. You right?
Yeah.
For me, like material wise, I would say like, I mean, yeah, it's cool, but then I would need to. Not everything is perfect,
Mm-hmm.
so I'd work on other things like certain like character, relationships, certain stuff like that, like the intangible stuff. I'd really want to get those up to par because right now I don't think all of those are where I want them to be. But material wise, I mean, I'm not big on material stuff.
You're
bro.
pretty minimalistic in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, I could go where I need to go. I have a roof, and I got food, and I got good friends. So
Speaking
mean-
of food, I'm gonna need that shrimp stuffing. Need you to run that back.
oh yeah,
That's so off topic, but I just yeah, we ain't even gonna go deep into that. That shrimp I'm gonna need. Anyway,
For me, I'll compare it to my boy Matthew, who walked with Jesus. So basically, he had what he had, and then when he started to walk with Jesus, God provided for him. Matthew, like,
gave up everything.
yeah, and he continued to learn. He continued to, I guess, study and stuff. So I could see myself doing that. If God, if he just takes me to provide and has a purpose for me from this point forward, I'd be good with that. And I would still learn. I would still practice. I guess increase my knowledge in a sense. I would still become a student of the Lord for the Bible. And
I mean, you have such a great wife. Why would you need anything other than that?
preach, talk to him.
but no, I mean, yes, that is true. That is true. But I mean, like, personally, like, I'd be good with that. God providing for me, and I know it, and he talking to me and telling me, okay, you do not need more per se, but I am going to take you places, and I'm going to do this with you. I'd be good with that. I'd be like,
So
okay,
basically, like,
let's,
for nomad?
let's go. Let's go.
Let
think
me,
that's solid.
let me add. I might not be happy because I don't have a wife yet.
True. I mean, okay, so
I would need that thing in there.
from my standpoint, I'd say I'm pretty torn because, you know, ain't none of us perfect. We all have our things that we working through. And I have a very hard time working through my materialism. I like material things a lot more than I should. And
Okay.
I always want something new. And when the newness of that thing wears off, I'm bored again and I want something else. That's not healthy. So I struggle with contentment. So if we look at it from that standpoint, I'd be like, no, because I am not living in this big dream Barbie house with this thing and this thing and this thing. But if we take it from like a spiritual standpoint, honestly, I think I'd be at peace if God was to just let us stay here the way we are now. Because I'm grateful for it. The connections I have, the friends I have, like Ash, like I would say that our life is honestly enjoyable. And when I take the noise of social media away, and when I get away from that, I am so much more thankful for our life. Like, we don't do the most, but we do enough. We travel when we can. We go out when we can. We spend time together. We see our families. Like, this stuff means a lot. Why am I getting emotional right now? Oh my God. It's because I'm a woman.
It's
But
beautiful.
Cut it out. You're
It's
passionate.
beautiful.
but
So, yeah. Passion.
like life is so beautiful now. Like I think on Tuesday, like I was so at peace that day, just realizing like where life was. And Ash and I went out to breakfast, and then we gonna see my like stuff like that. Like that's so much more meaningful than having the most stuff. Like you don't need that. Not saying that one day, I don't hope and pray that we become wealthy so we can pour into our community, pour into our hometowns, like stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, God, I thank you for where I am right now, because it could have been so much worse. We all could have been homeless. We could have been broke. We could have been outside hungry. And it's very crazy that some of the happiest people you will ever see have nothing.
Yeah.
They have nothing.
And the people who have the most
Are so
miserable.
a lot of them are
and
suffering
unhappy.
That is
emotionally and
that is
mentally.
a paradox of life.
It definitely is.
It's a big paradox. Like something so small could mean so much, but something so big could mean so
absolutely nothing.
little.
And
It's crazy.
I could speak on the other side of the spectrum as well. Like, yes, I can say yes that I would be content with it and I would follow with God. But on a worldly standpoint, because I am human, I could say, like, okay, yes, I would want more. More money, you know, mainly more money.
Yeah, you gotta get, and you gotta
Yeah.
get that WRX. You know, you can need that.
But like, I could say like, yes, okay, more money, and then boom, that's it. Like that's all I'm looking
to
for.
be able
more,
to do
more money and boom.
to be able to
But
do more. Yeah.
yeah, me saying more money could also include more problems.
Yeah.
It could.
And
But
not
like
just from a
philanthropy
song,
for
but I mean, like,
Ash is a
on the
big
whole.
thing. Like
Yeah,
he really wants to be
I
able to
actually
give
want to give
back.
back and want to help people.
And we try to
just
give now.
influence and just be a mentor or just to help people. But like, it can include more problems. Like, I can be placing a target on my back that isn't necessary.
Yeah.
In
True.
a sense.
See, even how you say the mentorship, right? Like people who don't have money and still go and help. When you don't have money and you don't have crazy hours, you have time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And like you said, your life is enjoyable.
Time is
and
a different type of currency,
We're
you know.
actually working towards that because like we go and help out with students, and even there's already people who has been coming to us ever since we came together. I mean, it's been happening to me for like as long as I can remember, maybe from
Yeah, he's a great
counselor.
listener. Yeah,
Maybe
he's a great.
I
Yes,
wouldn't-
he is.
like, I'm not even trying to say that, but I mean like it's just that
You give great advice, though, babe.
like on average, people usually came to me for
Advice, yeah.
some sort of guidance or something. I've been told like, oh, I should be a guidance counselor or an advisor or mentor or something. And mind you, I always said no, but I mean like the more and more I said no, the more and more it started happening.
Yeah.
Might be a calling.
And I wasn't saying no as a like from an ignorant standpoint. I just was saying, stop playing. Like, yeah.
And
like,
he's so good at it. Like he's such a good listener, and he gives not just advice but godly advice. So, yeah, being like just giving back in general is a huge deal for us. So we try to serve where we can. And I don't know who need to hear this. It's just in my spirit. But you don't have to be rich to help people.
yeah, you can start where you are.
You can give of yourself, your time. You can balance your funds in a way where you are able to spare a little 20 to, I mean, I think somewhere in the Bible it talks about giving with discretion. I'd have to look into that. But like you could give a little something when you can. And like I was saying,
and a little
time
something can spread
time
a long
is
way.
that's a currency.
currency.
You spend
Precious.
that, and we are a product of.
And that is very important when it comes to our worldly relationships.
Yeah, like
It's important. It's mostly important with God because yes, we need to spend time with God, but it's also important for the people around us, the people we live around, our friends, our family, our loved ones, for parents, your kids. Like money isn't gonna supplement your child and what they need and
True
what
that.
they long for, which is love and affection from a parent. If that's not being given to them, then the relationship is it's gonna fall apart. So time is very important. Like it's very necessary. And a normal life, anything normal could be extraordinary to someone else. Your normal could be amazing to someone else, and you sharing that normal, or you just appreciating that normal, down the line you realize, wow, I really had that, but I just didn't realize it. Or I was living like this, but I didn't like it, but it was great.
Yeah.
Looking down the line.
And
Do you ever think that, like, thinking back to growing up, like back in the Bahamas?
Thinking back, like when I was younger, I wasn't like what you say, ungrateful in a sense. Like,
yeah, they never
I
really
appreciated every
that.
like just about. I mean, other than being disciplined, of course. Growing up, I was grateful. I was grateful for the things, the positions that I was in, things that was happening, family, hanging out with family, like.
Y'all should have seen
Everybody,
the amount of medals this
everyone
boy
that I
have.
grew up with,
Really?
everyone that I grew up with isn't around now, and it wasn't above the average life, but it was normal, and I appreciate that. Everybody that I grew up with, family, friends, whoever I came into contact with, whoever was on my path, like. I appreciate every single, and I can remember just about every single one.
He means that.
I'm talking about every single friendship and relationship I had, maybe from when I was 2 or 3.
Yeah, he has
I
great
can remember
memory
every single one.
of that.
Everybody probably won't remember me, but I mean, like, that's cool.
So it goes.
I appreciate the time that I had with the people that I knew.
The thing about Ash and his family is they are the perfect example of doing what we want because this is what we want. They traveled, they went to amusement parks, they did so much as a family, and they were content with that. And like, I love that, and I've told him that multiple times. I love that about them so much. They focus more on family and intimate family time, being in tune with each other, knowing one another, and doing what actually made them happy. They never cared about who said what, how anybody else did what. It didn't matter. They just did what they knew they needed to do for their kids. And I love hearing about the way they grew up, the way things was, how they traveled, how they did things that made them happy. It was never about anybody else. It was always about them living right, his parents raising their kids right, which they did. They raised some phenomenal kids. Shout out to mom and pops.
Honestly,
love you all.
it wasn't surrounded around like just the traveling and stuff. Like, it was surrounded around love, affection,
It's
family
giving
time,
future.
like, yeah, just time, like just quality time with the people that you care about and you love is
And in turn, that's his
it's
biggest love
irreplaceable.
language.
It's you can't put a number or a price to it.
Not at all. And that's the thing, when you live in your life, like, you focus on, well, let me say this. Let me backtrack a little bit. I think one of the things that's most important that people kind of take for granted is your day-to-day life. Your day-to-day life, like, that means something. I mean, like, having goals is great, right? And, but you only make the goal, like, one time. Like, once you make the goal, that's it.
That's it. It's there.
You made it. Like, your day-to-day life is important. And, like, when you in a home like that, your day-to-day life is good. And when you look back and
It's a stepping stone. It's what builds
and
you.
Exactly. And you realize, like, wow, I have this mountain of great experiences.
Like, very wholesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your day-to-day life is important.
It's
and,
important.
And you shouldn't, like, just throw that away for these massive goals. And you tearing up yourself every day trying to make it there. And then once you get there, it's like, this is great.
Just take it one day at a time.
And then the
Like,
2 seconds pass and you're like, well, what's next?
like, every day has enough worries of its own. That's biblical. So just worry about today. Like,
Yeah, so that's I guess that's one of our that's our main point to our audience. I'd say. Yeah,
like, just Worry about
take
today.
it in. Take today in.
Take time.
Like, yes. Take time.
And you don't know what breath is your last breath,
Not
so
at
don't
all.
stress about having the biggest
most
house and the
common
fanciest car. And
Bahamian phrase. Take time.
take time before time take you.
Yes.
Like,
Boy.
Take your
that's the
time.
biggest takeaway.
People,
And
take time.
Honorary
And
behavior.
honestly, there is no
Honorary.
certain age where you have to have a certain amount. Don't let other people's life tell you where you should be at a certain age. Your 25 is not going to look like everybody else's 25. Your 18 is not going to look like everybody else's 18. Live for you. Live for God. Live for yourself. Seek God first, and then everything else that you're supposed to have, what his will is for your life, will be done. You got
Exactly.
I got one more thing to add.
Go ahead.
Just for to keep it like, humble, right? The things that are important to you, I mean, amongst humans, they're generally gonna be the same things, right? Generally gonna be the same things. But you understand that everybody else also has these same things that are important to them that they working hard to maintain and protect or whatever. So the things that are so important to you and that makes a difference in your life are the same things that make you the same as everybody else. So you shouldn't be trying to step on people. Shouldn't let people step on you either. But the same things that are important to you are important to everybody else.
right.
So remember, y'all all kind of in the same boat. So just have some respect for people too.
Yeah. Like your normal doesn't look like anybody else's normal. What you find important might not be what other people find important. You might live a minimalistic lifestyle, but you love going to see movies. That's what you can spend your money on. Yeah, I don't have a Chanel bag, but I will spend this money to go see this movie. Everybody has that thing. You might not care to do nothing in this world, but you love playing video games and you want this game when it drops. You can spend your money on that. That's what you want. You love technology. So out of your love for it, you want to have the newest, up to date, whatever. It might not be what everybody else have, but that's what you want. That's what you like.
I was going to say, my final thought for today is enjoy what you're doing today because you might not be here tomorrow. So just enjoy what you have. That's it.
Yeah.
And my final thought would be watch the road. Watch the road.
Watch the road.
Don't turn around and look in the back of you comparing your normal to other people's normal. And don't look in another lane comparing your normal to someone else's normal. Just look forward.
Straight.
And take your time.
Let the Lord light
That's
your
it.
path. So
Take it easy.
who wants to close us out?
I got you.
Yes, sir.
Hi, guys. I'm normal.
Hi.
Hi, normal. All right, bro. I'm sorry.
Anyway, continue. Come on.
Some theatrics. Anyway, so I hope you guys, stay tuned to this series because we have a lot we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, we're normal people and all of our lives have meaning. You can have a meaningful life without being like a superstar.
a Kardashian.
Don't say the
If
K
we're-
word.
If you're into that, yeah.
Don't say the K word.
They may be.
I'm sorry. Anyway.
So, guys, just stay tuned. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Links in the description to our Instagram and Linktree if you want to watch us on other platforms or listen on other platforms. And, comment, like, subscribe
Yes.
to the channel.
Yeah. You did a great job. Wonderful. You're doing amazing.
Don't worry. I got y'all on the next intro. I got something special.
Oh, no.
No, I lied. Cut that.
I'm not cutting that. So, yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hands in. This is going to be our new close. Hands in. Hands in.
What time is it?
So much.
MTC on 3. 1, 2, 3. MTC. Bye, guys.
What time is it?
Okay.